Why would you join the cleanup challenge? Well, let's start. Cleaning up is getting rid of the clutter, getting rid of the chaos around you, but also in your mind. So basically getting rid of chaos in your life and in your mind. It's about dealing with memories. And here's the thing. I didn't realize how those memories would be influenced, or better yet, how I would deal with the memories, because I was starting to clean up. And last but not least, it's about getting focused on your goals. So why am I talking about the cleanup challenge and what inspired it? Well, what inspired it was 4 weeks of Chicago. I went to Chicago in September. I was there with Cheeky Joe. You might have seen her. We spent 4 weeks together in a room, and it was not only just fun, but it was so nice to see that we could work together and I could walk around. So when I got back, I was confronted with all this stuff I have here in my studio, which is the result of my mom passing away 2 years ago almost, and her house having been sold about a year ago. My dad passed away like a decade ago, and I wasn't capable of getting rid of their stuff because those were my memories. And now it's Christmas time, and normally I would be with my loved ones, but who are my loved ones now? I mean, my dad is gone, my mom is gone. Because of everything that has happened in the last years, I'm not talking to my sister anymore. And yes, I do love her dearly, so I am going to send her a Christmas card. And well, my brother has got his own family, and even though we do speak to one another, I don't have my hopes up that I'm going to see him. So what I did get was I got my old parents' Christmas tree, and that's a really old one. So yes, it is an artificial one, and it has these colored lights, and you know, that was in the time that we didn't have thick Christmas trees. Merry Christmas to Lily. But you know, it does look old, but it has these good memories with the balls we were looking at when we were growing up, and like I said, with the colored lights, and it was like, oh, I need to have that one. But I don't know about you, but I already had another Christmas tree. So I tried to sell that one. I think it was in February last year, which of course didn't work. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it again. Going to clean up all the stuff. So going through all the things I was looking at, I of course had to make room too. And well, that confronted me with the things that had changed over the years. So some of you may know that I am a therapist. I used to give massages, and well, I don't do it anymore. I mean, having walked for 7 years with crutches, everything here when it comes to my shoulders and my arms, well, it was hard to keep in balance. And so I basically stopped doing it, but I still have a lot of the stuff from back then. So I was going through everything. I actually found old tea from when people were still coming over. I don't know, 2016 expiry date. Yeah, I'm not the one to just clean up all those things. But now I'm like, yeah. And pretty soon, as in the end of this week, as in Friday, I'll be joining Cheeky Joe and her daughter in London, which is going to be very exciting. I'm going to be taking what's called the Euro train. Apparently that goes through a tunnel. And then I'm going to see her. And this is the funny thing. We're going to stay next to St. Paul's Cathedral. And I just watched a movie, and where was it? In London. And what did I see? St. Paul's Cathedral, because they actually mentioned it. So I was like, oh, okay, coincidence, you know how it works. That just made me more and more determined. Yeah, that's so cool to be watching London during the Christmas days, because I've always wanted to do so. And when my parents were still around, of course, I couldn't go. And now I have total freedom. I can go anywhere and everywhere I want, which is basically what I'm doing. But it is important to also continue getting that message out there, that the importance of speaking up and speaking out, because otherwise this wouldn't have happened. And one of the things was that I basically told Joe, you know, I don't think it's a good idea to go back to Chicago during Christmas time. One of the things I like to see there is seeing the actors from Chicago PD and Chicago Fire do their thing. Of course, they are on holiday, and besides, it's cold. So if I were to go to the US, I would go there because it's warm. But London is closed, and I've seen London post-Christmas, but I really wanted to go there now, and Joe, of course, knows all the things. Well, Joe is all about sightseeing. I am all about taking pictures, and what's better than go into a town where it's all decorated with lights and all that stuff. But like I said, it's packed here. It's literally packed. And I want to get overview again. That's the thing. Whenever I'm in a hotel room, I can get by with very little stuff. You know, as long as I have my iPad, my microphones, my lights, you know, the cables, I need to charge things and to get things across, you know, I'm good to go, because I love to tell stories. I love to show people around, and I also love to inspire people. So, hence also the Christmas challenge, well, the cleanup challenge, which happened to be during Christmas. And yeah, I would love it if you got to join me, because like I said, for me, it has brought me down memory lane, and it's giving me closure. I mean, having all the stuff of my parents here doesn't make my parents come back. And besides, I'd chosen my own style in these last couple of years, decades, you know, that have moved out of the house. So I do want some things, but hang on, if that makes noise. Yeah, it's nostalgic. It absolutely is. It's literally going down memory lane. And like I said, I've made my own choices, and of course there are things I want to keep, but there are also things that other people might be able to use. And so what I'm going to do is, we have the shops here. They are sort of like recycle shops, as in you get it there, and then people who are like, oh, I could use that, they can get it for a bargain price. So I also put stuff on Marketplace. If that's not going to work, that means, okay, guys, I'm going to get it over there, and then they can see what they're going to do with it. But in addition, going through all those pictures, I realized the things that I planned on doing but never got to do. So on the other side of that wall, I thought it was 1 year ago, I sort of built a studio. You know, I set up the tables, I have the monitors over there. But it's a little bit cold compared to here, because straight there is also the stairs which lead to the outside door. So I never really got there. And of course, when I got all the stuff in here, it was blocked. It was blocked, which is for a large part due to the fact that my dad had glass negatives. Yes, glass negatives from the 1950s. Oh, that's cool that you love vintage things. So I don't want to throw those away. I mean, there are glass negatives portraying the end of World War II, with the soldiers marching their freedom march. And yeah, we've been saved by a lot of foreign countries. So yeah, I couldn't just get rid of it. I want to do stuff with it, catalog it. But that's the thing. I want to do so many things, and I can't do it all. And especially cannot do it all at the same time. But what I can do is get things organized and work towards my goal. So prior to the cleanup challenge, I decided to already start doing my own thing so I can also guide you through the whole process. So I will be starting tomorrow. So it will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps Thursday, I don't know. And each day we will be addressing a certain topic. It will have to do with focusing on goals, diminishing clutter and chaos in your mind and your life. And like I said, also dealing with memories. And you know, a lot of people, well, if you want to join, just let me know. I'll make sure that there's a link either in the bio or it will be in the YouTube subscription. My YouTube channel is also Lady Lexi Speaks Up. Because here on Instagram, it's so hard to post any links because they say, we're not doing that. But I have to say, it's kind of cool to do all those things and think about, okay, who can use what. It's especially when my father passed away, I started working in what was his toy store. I never thought I would be doing so, but I did. And it gave me the reason to be there at least once a week and keep an eye on my mom. That's sort of why I did it. But I got to know my dad pretty well because of it. And it was weird, you know, at first, opening up all those drawers and looking at it and, oh, that's what he's written. Okay, so this is how he thinks. And, you know, I could literally see him in the living room, being on his own, closing his eyes, sort of meditating. And yeah, it brought me closer to him. So the years that he's been gone brought me closer. And then when my mom passed away, the first thing my sister said is, you're going to close the store. And it happened during the whole Corona area, the whole year, 2 years that we couldn't go out. Do you still remember that it was in lockdown and that we couldn't go anywhere? Well, I still remember. And as a result, of course, we couldn't open the stores, and then it got a little bit harder. And my mom, she got in worse shape, especially physically. So it was hard to continue all that stuff. And well, my mom passed away in February, almost 2 years ago. And well, that was in the time that, you know, am I going to see her? But I can't make food and I can't get food and I'm not supposed to be in the streets. Don't want to talk about it right now, but it is something which, well, looking at all those things actually gets me to go, hi Chris, to go and see all the things, you know, which remind me of her. And those are also good things. So when we got to clean up the house, I just couldn't get rid of all the things. I want to know what she had thought and experienced. And I have to say, it also caused a lot of sadness. But now, I mean, we're 2 years down the line almost. And now looking at those boxes, which have been here all over the stairs and around me, is actually kind of funny. I saw these little match boxes that my father brought from Japan, because my father loved to travel. And that's one of the things I got to know and got to learn. I look a lot like my dad when it comes to habits. So I want to invite you to join me on the cleanup challenge. I'm like sure that either the link is in the bio or please go to YouTube. Like I said, Instagram is horrible when it comes to links. YouTube is also Lady Lexi Speaks Up, and tomorrow I'll be starting it. Like I said, I'll be talking about 3 topics having to do with diminishing chaos in life and mind, focusing on goals, and dealing with old memory situations, just sort of like I just said. Well, I already have started, and I really hope that you are going to join me. I do believe that this is a good time because, especially now with Christmas, everybody starts to give you gifts. And of course, the question is, can you use those gifts or not? But yeah, it's so sweet what you say. Yeah, it's emotional. And that's one of the reasons that I want to do it. Yeah. That threw me off, came from left field a little bit, but thank you so much, Lily. So getting back to Christmas, we are getting all these presents. Then everybody starts with New Year's resolutions, of course. The thing is about starting that on January 1st, that we hardly ever keep up because it's not from the heart. It's more a kind of mind thing. And that's why I do want to start it now, but it's something that you can continue to keep doing after those 3 days, so after Christmas time. And I really hope you're going to join. I'll make sure that you can still join afterwards, but it would be really cool to coach you through those days. And if you tell me what you're struggling with, then we can, of course, get into it. I can answer questions. And yeah, I guess that's about it. The link, I can tell you, chikaracc.com/cleanup challenge, but I'm pretty sure that you're not going to remember that because chikara is a Japanese word. It's a symbol. This is the chikara symbol, which is for strength. I still have to get my Lady Lexi Speaks Up website in order, which I am going to do. But first things first, and what I've learned is when there's so much left to do, and then we get back to chaos and clutter, it's not working, because what are you going to focus on? And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this. So there's much more to share, but for now, I'll keep it to this. And again, if you want to join, please do, because I do believe that there's nothing like getting your focus back on the goals that are important to you. But in order to do so, it's so important to deal with past memories and deal with the chaos around you and also in your mind. So subscribe, join me, and I'll see you tomorrow.